Now welcome to the animation masterclass. In my last video we went over how to come up with animation ideas, and in that video I came up with a sentence and an animation idea for it. This is part 2 where we take my idea, design it and bring it to life. This will be a full guide covering everything I do from designing to animating. I'm going to show you the full process from start to finish, so you need to lock in. Remove all distractions and focus for the next 30 minutes or so, and I guarantee you'll learn something. Now without wasting any more time, let's get started. Alright guys, so if you didn't watch my previous video, the sentence we're gonna be animating is this one. I quit waiting for inspiration to strike and started doing my thing. That's the sentence we have to design and animate. And in this video, if you didn't watch this, I came up with a concept of having some kind of gift box which has a note on it saying don't open before this and this date, but then a dude comes in and opens the gift box anyway, and then it symbolizes the started doing my own thing part, and that's pretty sick, pretty fire idea. So we're gonna be doing exactly that today. So how do we even start to structure a design like this? Because it sounds pretty complicated, to be honest. And one place which you could find some inspiration is Pinterest.com. So if we type in here something like gift box 2D animation, maybe something like this. Here I have a bunch of different concepts and designs, something like this, something like that. And I'm thinking I'm going with a pretty simple gift box, something like this. This is pretty clean. Something like this, maybe a white and red gift box. And if you watched my 2D character video, I'm thinking of having a character like that coming up from behind the box, and then him opening the box, and then the box spewing out all kinds of nice things to symbolize the gift of inspiration he got for acting. Okay, I like that. Let's get to work. So, open After Effects. Let's make a new comp. I'm gonna call this gift box animation 1920 1080, and duration can be like 10 seconds and background black. Awesome. Okay, so I'm gonna start designing my gift box, and the way I'm gonna do it, I'm gonna use a bunch of shape layers to create a box which we can animate, and we can actually move every part of it. So I'm gonna try to do something like that. So let's take the rectangle tool and let's go ahead and turn the fill on, and let's make it white, and let's turn the stroke off. We don't need that. And then I'm gonna hold Shift and Command and just draw a shape like this. And then we have to go over to Contents and Rectangle Path, and we have to make sure this is exactly. It doesn't matter what the number is, but it has to be exact, because we're going to be moving this in a 3D space and we have to have really accurate numbers. So I'm just going to do 500 to make it easy. So 500 by 500 on the size. Awesome. Now we have something that looks like this. And if we remember from our design, it had these red lines coming across like a gift box usually has. So, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to press G for the pen tool and make sure the fill is off. And the stroke can be some kind of darkish red color, something like this. And let's make it like 30. And then what I'll do is I'll select this shape. So what we draw goes into the shape on the same layer. So we don't have two separate layers. As you can see, if we click right here, it doesn't make a new layer. Awesome. So you can click right there. I'm also going to align this and turn on the grid so we can make sure it's exactly in the center, which it is. And then I'm going to click over here. Awesome. For some reason the fill was on, so let's fix that, and there we have it. Let's just make sure that it's coming all the way to the end. I just pressed V for the selection tool, and let's go to the top and make sure it's looking good, just like that. There we have it. That's pretty perfect. So there we have a really simple design. I might make the stroke a bit bigger, like 37. Looks a bit nicer. And let's take this grid off, it's kind of annoying. Vittu vieläkin leveämpi. And now let's turn this into an actual box, because it's pretty flat right now if you ask me. So what I'll do is I'll make it 3D, I'll make a new camera, a one node camera, let's place it under everything, and let's go here and turn Cinema 4D on if it's not already on. Cinema 4D, so we can do everything right. And I'm also going to click this transparency grid to make it easier to see everything. Awesome. Now I'm going to go over here and I'm going to turn this to custom view 1, so it's going to be easier to navigate this. And what I'm simply just going to do is I'm first going to name this to the front, because this is going to be the front of our box. And I'm going to duplicate this. Let's name it back, and let's press P for position, and the Z position, let's push it back by 500. Now why 500? Because our shape is exactly 500 by 500 pixels. So if we push it back 500, we can take another one and rotate it, and it's gonna turn into an actual box, because if we would do like 550, it wouldn't work. So this is why I made the shape exactly 500 by 500. So if we push it back by 500, I'll show you what I mean. And also, let's click R for rotation, and let's do Y rotation 180. So the red part goes facing away. Now I'm going to duplicate this front one again, and let's name this left, for example. And now if we push it back by 250, so half of the number, so half of the size, it's going to go exactly in between these. This is why it's important to have accurate numbers. And then if you click R for this, and we go Y rotation, and we make it 90, it's perfect. You see, now it's 500, this is 500 long, and the gap between these is exactly 500. Hopefully this makes sense. Now let's go to position, and it's the X position, so let's go over here and let's type in minus 250, and it comes right there. Beautiful. Now let's duplicate this, let's name it right, let's go to X position, and let's do plus 500, so it goes 500 pixels backwards, right there. Then let's go to rotation, R for rotation, and let's do Y rotation minus 90. Perfect. Now let's take this front one again, and let's duplicate it, and let's name it top, and let's push it back by 250. Let's go to orientation, or let's go to rotation, and let's do X rotation 90. Now let's do minus 90. So X rotation minus 90, and let's do P for position, and it's the Y, and let's do minus 250. Perfect. Now for this top one, let's select it, and let's go to shape one, duplicate this, let's make the anchor point in the center, so press Y and drag this right there. Then let's go here to rotation, and let's do 90. Perfect. Let's take this top one, duplicate it, P for position, Y position, plus 500. R for rotation, X rotation, plus 90. Sorry, just 90. There we go. There's a 3D box, pretty simple. Hopefully this wasn't too complicated to follow along. If it was, just comment down below, DM me on X, I'll help you guys out as much as I can. That's my goal with these videos, of course. But now we have the box, which is pretty beautiful. Let's go ahead and go back to active camera 1. Let's turn our background on, and let's start designing the scene. So, what I think I'm gonna do is I'm gonna pre-compose this box, just so we can add some effects to it. But before we do that, let's design a background. So I'm gonna go to new and make a solid and bring this below everything. And this doesn't have to be 3D. So our box is white and red. The background, I think it should be some type of black and red maybe. Again, we can always go to Pinterest and search background for animation. And we can see if there's something that we kinda like over here. If we just scroll around for a bit, maybe using a grid would be interesting, but maybe not. Actually, now that I think about it, maybe it should be completely black, using the style of, hold on, if I just check 0x, 100x, if you go with this guy, I'm kind of thinking of something like this, where the background is actually black, and then we just have the assets here, and I think that could work pretty well. This is also good, guys. If you see some cool animation, make sure you save them. For example, if you scroll on X and you see a nice animation, make sure to save it, and you can use inspiration for that later. I'm gonna check if I have something on my X. Let's go check it out real quick. Right there. Oh, this is a sick one. Yeah, exactly like I do here. When you see some sick animations, you should always save them so you have an easy inspiration library. Like this is kind of nice. I think we're gonna go with a completely black background. That's the plan. Okay, so what I'm thinking is that this box just comes from down, so it slides up from below. It does a nice little spin as it comes in, and then some kind of note flies in right there, and then the person appears in the background, and then he opens the box. Okay, let's do it. Let's start designing the note. So I'm gonna do something kind of similar to what I did in my previous YouTube video. So let's go ahead and And let's go ahead and... Actually, I might have something even better. I'm gonna... I think I have a good looking paper somewhere. Yeah, I have this one. This is really nice. I'm gonna use this actually. Yeah, let's delete that. So let me use this. Let's go ahead and turn roughen edges on it. And let's increase the complexity by... to pull it all the way. Let's do edge sharpness a bit and then the border value a lot. There we have. Nice looking paper. Now what I'll do is I'll put on a grid effect. I'll make the blending mode overlay. I'll make the border like 3. I'll make this grayer, or maybe just black completely. And let's take this. So you should see 2 points, I believe. Yeah, 2 points. One was under the anchor point. And let's go ahead and place this point to the right. So this point controls the line, the vertical line. So let's place it somewhere like here. And let's pull this one all the way away. So there's only one vertical line. And then we have these papers going across. I like it. Maybe this could be multiply. Yeah, so you can see it better. And let's turn the opacity a bit down. Awesome. And I think this line, we could just press G for the pen tool and make a dot right there and a dot right there. Fill off, stroke on, make it dark red and make it 2 pixels maybe. Let's make it 1 pixel. Give a nice little scary look to it. And then let's type in here, let's press Command T for the type tool and let's just do... Oh, I already have the font. Yeah, this was the font I'm gonna use. Belligerent Madness. I don't know if it's available for everyone, but just use something that looks kinda like this. Or do whatever you want, it's your life. Let's size it down a bit, let's make this centered. Let's place it kinda like this. And yeah, that's pretty nice. Let's just make let's push G for the pen tool and let's make another line like this. Kinda highlighting the 2026. Let's turn the stroke up a bit. Let's make this line cap and line join round over here on the right. With this selected, let's search for taper. And let's do like 100 on these and like 60 on these. So it's gonna get that nice look on the ends where it kind of like becomes smaller toward the end. That's really nice. Make a new adjustment layer here and let's slap on a vignette. Place it in the center. Let's up the radius or up the amount a bit. And this is looking really nice. This is a nice note. Awesome. Let's make this 3D. Error. What does that mean? I actually don't know what... Okay, didn't want to make this 3D. It doesn't matter, we can just make this 3D. Okay, all good now. Let's go to top view and let's make sure this is exactly in front of the box, which it actually is. Pretty nice. Let's go back and let's, oops, use this. Place it kind of like this, I think. I think this is pretty nice. And yeah, that's alright. We can leave it there for now. Maybe we should start designing this box. Okay, so let's take this box and let's just pre-comp it. Just like that. Whoops. Take the whole box and let's pre-comp it. Let's make it 3D. And let's go inside the pre-comp and we have to make the animations here, because if you look at this, if you try to, for example, rotate the box here, it's not 3D. So we have to go in here and we have to select this, and I'm going to use this plugin to add a null. And it's going to make a null and link everything to this and make the null 3D. You can also right click new null object, we all know that. But if we take this null now and we rotate it, for example, like this, it's going to be 3D here. So we have to make all the movements inside this pre-comp and then they will work in this actual composition. So what I'm thinking is position keyframe, orientation keyframe, and I think we're good to go. So I'll push these keyframes to like 3 seconds. So like this. And this is going to be the final position, and I want to make it kind of rotated like this so you can see that it's a 3D box. And let's go to start and maybe push it down, and let's make it do like a backflip or something. Let's see what that looks like. That didn't work. Let's push this to like 80. Okay, let's push it a bit more. This is just playing around, trial and error to see what looks good. I like that. Now we need to make a graph, so select them and easy is. Go to the graph editor and pull this right one to the left. And let's pull this left one to the left a bit also. No, that's not smooth. Okay, I changed it a bit. For some reason, when we had the orientation keyframe, it wasn't smooth at all. So I just changed it to a X rotation keyframe, did the same flip, and now it's really smooth. I like that. Awesome. Now let's take this note actually, and let's copy and paste it to here, and we can delete it from here. And now let's go to top view, and let's have or actually we can just go to this orientation keyframe, so press R, and we can see it's 30. So orientation, make it 30, and it's exactly how it should be. Then let's pull it so it's just in front of the box, and let's pull it to the left, and let's see how this looks. It looks alright. I think it looks nice. Now this box has done its spinning. I'm gonna add a CC page turn effect to this one, and I'm gonna keyframe this fold position. So keyframe it, press U to see it. I'm gonna push it a bit forward. Actually, I'm gonna bring it back. I'm gonna take this dot and pull it somewhere like where it's about to start the animation. So pull it right there, then push it forward. And then take the same dot, so select this, and we should see the dot. We don't see the dot, so let's use this, place it somewhere like here, pull it up like that. That's pretty nice. Let's do a graph for this. I'm just gonna use this plugin, but basically it's a left graph, so pulling the right one to the left, and that's smooth. Then let's press T for opacity. Let's press U to see them, push it a bit forward and make the opacity 0, and we get a really nice animation. Awesome. I'm gonna even make this appear a bit sooner, and make this appear a bit sooner, and that's smooth, really smooth. Alright, now we could design this box a little, so let's add some effects to this. I'm thinking a 4-color gradient will work really well. Let's make this multiply. Let's make this first one's white and this bottom one's black, just like that. Let's place the black dots in the bottom, and let's take these white dots, place them to the top, just like that. Don't make it too harsh. Let's kind of like this. Maybe add a glow to this. Yeah, let's play around with the glow. That's pretty nice. Oh, by the way, we have to go in this composition and we have to increase the height because it was cutting out. It still is. Yeah, now it's not. Yeah, I like how that looks. And then the note comes in. And when the note comes in, we might want to decrease the glow. So like here, maybe we keyframe this glow intensity. And we make it like, oh no, not like that. Let's just go like this. And maybe we add a vignette also to this. And let's center the vignette. And let's keyframe the amount. Also increase the amount when the note comes in. Kind of like that. So it turns kind of darker. Oh, I love it. Love it. Beautiful. Yeah, you see, as the note comes in, it turns kind of darker as it sets the mood. Like, do not open. Beautiful. Let's design our character. This is going pretty well so far. By the way, I'm doing this completely with no script, no nothing. I have no idea if this is even gonna work out. I just thought, gift box, that would be cool. Let's try it. That's how I'm making this. Purely off the top of my head. So you see like the full process of me, how I make my videos. Great, let's design a dude. Let's select the ellipse tool, and I'm thinking of a red dude that looks kind of sad, and maybe he opens the box and he turns happy. Could be nice. Should we do red? What should we do? Let's try to do a red dude. So I'm gonna, take the ellipse tool and I'm gonna make a radial gradient like this. So a darker red at the end and a lighter red at the start. And let's take the stroke off. Hold Command and Shift and draw a circle. And then let's increase this. So this would kind of be the head. And you can have the head right there. Let's do some eyes. Or actually, let's do the body first. So hold Command and you can pull this. And let's pull this dot so it looks better. And let's take this and let's press G. Let's make it do a mask. Let's press there, hold Shift, do this, do that, do that. Let's press M 3 times. Let's do subtract. and feather it out. That's a nice looking body. Alright. Let's do some eyes on this dude. Ellipse tool. Make this black. One eye. Duplicate it. Another one. Pull them a bit closer. And let's turn this to full. And let's do a mouth. So dot there, dot there. Pull it like this. Fill off. Stroke on. Black. 1 pixel. Line cap to round. Let's do 2 pixels. Let's do 4 pixels. I like it. We can make it a bit smaller though. So scale, unlink, this one. That looks okay. Let's design it more. Let's take the head. Let's do layer styles, inner glow. Let's make this, or let's just use this and select the color like that. Let's do size a bit of range. Looks good. Copy, paste to the body. Looks good. Let's recomp these. Let's turn them 3D. Let's increase the size of this. And there we have a dude. Pretty nice. Alright. I think we might have to do some camera stuff now, just to get a better look at this scene. So let's do that. Let's take this camera, let's add a null to it. You can also right click, new null, if you don't have this plugin. This is a free plugin, so you should get it for sure. Let's do position keyframe. Now with my animations I like to do a zoom in or zoom out as it starts. So, by the way, I'm gonna push this character a bit back. It shouldn't be there at the start. So I'm gonna push this keyframe a bit forward and I'm just gonna zoom this in like that. And let's do F9 and let's do a really sharp graph. So pull this all the way to the left and pull the left one all the way to the left. This is lagging quite a bit, but it shouldn't be a problem. Yeah, this is good. Actually, the camera should be... Let's select both of them and place the playhead on one. And let's pull it a bit up, so the Y position. Looks good. Now when the node appears, I want to make a zoom in on the node. So here, I'm going to add a new null. Let's do position keyframe. Maybe even a rotation or orientation. And let's go a bit forward. This dude should not appear yet. And I'm going to push it forward and maybe rotate it a bit like this. And then, or wait, yeah, rotate it. Rotate it a bit like this. And go to the left and go back. And do something like this. And let's do a normal graph, like a 70 graph, so it looks like this. That's nice, but let's not do the rotation. It doesn't work with the pre-comp. So let's just remove the keyframes and do a normal one like this. And let's make this a bit faster and let's make these happen a bit sooner and make this a bit more to the left. I like it. Make it a bit more to the left. Now, as this camera zooms in, we want the character to appear in the background. So let's do position and opacity for this. I'm gonna name this character, by the way. Stay organized, and this is box. Position and opacity. Push this forward. Or actually, let's make sure this guy is in the center. Yeah, that's pretty nice. Let's push him down. And let's do opacity, 0. F9, and I'm gonna do a left graph. So when I do this, it basically means a left graph, so this one, if you're wondering. That's nice. And as he appears, we're gonna have the camera zoom in, so make a new null here, add a null, and of course link it, if I didn't mention that. And let's go make a position keyframe, and let's pull it away, and let's make it in the center, and let's even make it upwards a bit, and let's make this dude come up way more, like that. Let's ease these and let's make a 70 graph. So this one, I like that, looks good. Now what I want to do is have this character grab the box with his hands and open it basically. Let's do it. Let's go to this pre-comp. How about we just copy this head and scale it down, unlink this, make this like this. These look like hands, right? Yeah. Hand number 1, duplicate it. Hand number 2. Actually, yeah. Let's pre-comp each of these hands so we have the design on them. Because if we make the shape layer 3D, it's not gonna have the design. The effects are gonna turn off. That's the bad thing about Cinema 4D and active camera 3D, whatever it is, advanced 3D, yeah. So we have to do this, and then we have to make the movements inside the pre-comp, which kind of sucks, but whatever. Actually, no, my mistake. We can come to this main comp and we can just make it classic 3D. Doesn't have to be Cinema 4D. I forgot about that. That's my bad. Because if we have this on classic 3D, but everything inside the pre-comps is in advanced 3D or Cinema 4D, it will still work in this comp. Yeah, that's my bad. I forgot about that. But let's do this now. So let's make these hands appear from behind the box. So let me duplicate this hand. Let me grab this. And I'm gonna place this behind the box, which we will do by doing this. So placing the layers under the box and kind of going like this, and the other hand as well. And let's do position keyframes on these. And let's, hold on, separate dimensions, important. Because we want them to come over here, and we want them to come forward and up and over here. But we first want them to come outside, or come out behind the box. So let's take this X one and push it like that. So now they come out, and have them come in front of the box, and we can cut them somewhere like here and place it above it. Whoops, that's weird. Right, so yeah, sorry. I'm kinda slow today, but let's just place this hand above the box and let's take this character and place it behind the box. It's not that difficult. So yeah, now we have something like that. Let's open these keyframes and these keyframes. Let's easy ease them. Let's make this 70 graph. Awesome. Let's make this faster. And let's make this more to the left. Yeah, kind of like that. So it actually, let's take both of these. So it actually goes outside, and then, so it doesn't just come like this through the box, it actually comes like that. You know? That's sick. Love it. Let's do the other hand. So here, and let's go right there, and right, up, forward, up more. Let's take the X position, push it right there, and let's another X position, push it right there. Whoopsie, right there. Let's go here where the other cut is, and let's also cut this. But before we do that, we can easy ease this to make it easier. 70 graph, cut that, pull it up with this guy. Beautiful, love it. That's actually nice. Beautiful. Let's just make them appear sooner, so maybe even already over here. So let's grab these and let's see how this looks. It looks really good. Really, really good. I'm gonna check what it looks like without the graph. That might be better actually. Or let's just do like a 30 graph. So yeah, kind of like this. I think I like that more. No, a 50 graph looks really good. Let's play this back. That's nice. We can even make them a bit faster. Yeah, I like that. I like that a lot. Let's go with that. So a 50 graph. Now, let's make him... Now what should we do? Maybe he should kind of shake the box around. You know, like shake it like this. Open, open. And then it opens. Or we could go with an easier route of just grabbing the box and then throwing the lid off. And then the colorful stuff come outside the box. Outside of the box. And then maybe the whole screen turns white. and that would be a pretty great way to end the animation. We might do that because this video is getting already kind of long. I don't want to make you watch me for 15 minutes do keyframes to shake the box. So let's just make the hands grab the box. Let's go right here before the keyframes end, and let's add a null to this. So add a null, also right click, make a new null, whatever you want to do. But this plugin is really nice, you guys should get it. Motion Tools Classic. Makes it super helpful, I use it all the time. Now let's do a position keyframe here. And position keyframe. Let's do something like this. Maybe orientation as well. Let's push the orientation to the front. Let's make it kind of like this. And let's take this one and push it like that. I have no idea how that looks, but we're gonna figure it out. Let's try a fast graph. That's funny. Maybe a super sharp graph. So, whoops. Maybe a really sharp graph. So all the way to the left and all the way to the left. No, that's way too sharp. Let's do not exactly all the way to the left, but pretty close to it. No, I think the 70 graph is actually best for this. Yeah, I think it's the best. Maybe an even sharper, like an 80 graph. Yeah, I like that. That's nice, but how in the heavens do we get the lid to jump off? I'm gonna show you. I'm gonna put a marker here and a marker here, so Shift and M with nothing selected. And I'm gonna go into this box pre-comp and forget about the markers, they don't work that way. My bad. So we have to do it a bit differently, but basically place the playhead to the first set of keyframes, go to the box and go to the, top two, top one. Yeah, I forgot to name this. This is bottom and this is top. So let's do P here, position and also orientation. And let's go back to the main composition and go to the second set of keyframes, playhead right there. And then we basically have to make the lid come up and rotate like this, I believe. And then go a bit to the left and something like this. And then do the same 80 graph. It's probably not going to be perfect with the first try, but we will trial and error this. It's not bad. Actually, it's not bad at all, but we can do better. Hold on, let's make an even sharper graph on these hands, and I want the lid to kind of like completely fly off. So here, right there where the graph happens, we can go to the box, and I'm gonna make this full so we can actually see how it looks like. And maybe right here we add a null to this, and just to do position, and we just make it throw out completely, like that. Throw him out to the left. No, not like this. We need to open the null and use this. Just throw that boy out. Okay, this is lagging so much. Cinema 4D lags quite a bit, so I don't recommend using it a lot. But let's make a really sharp graph on the null. All the way to the left, all the way to the left. Yeah, I like that. Let's see how this looks. Oh, it's nice, but as you can see, the composition cuts off right here. So we go into the composition, and like I showed before, comp settings has to increase this quite a bit, and we should be good. Yeah, that's nice, but we have to make it fly out way further. So just like that, There we go. Nice. How about we make this even sharper? That's sick. That's actually cool. Love it. Love it. Love it. That looks good. Beautiful. Let's go to the box and let's make those colorful thingies appear, which I talked about. I don't know how they will look. Let's check Pinterest. Colorful stuff coming out of a box. Let's see if there's something that looks kind of nice. Let's do animation. I don't really know. I think we can do this pretty simply by just taking the pen tool and quite literally drawing something like this and making it like pink or whatever. Make it thick. Let's make those round. And let's change this color so we can tell it apart, and let's pull it under everything basically. Yeah, that looks like a pool noodle, but it'll work in this case. And let's just maybe just duplicate this, place it right there, maybe make it blue, rotate it, kind of change the position, Whoops. Duplicate it like that. Maybe make it different color. So yeah, I guess I'm gonna make a couple of this and I'll see you guys in a sec. Okay, I just got something like this done. I feel like this will work for what we're trying to do. And now let's make these things appear as the lid closes or as the lid opens. And a very simple way to do that is to select one of them, open it and add a trim pass, and open it and just keyframe the end, push it a bit forward and do something like this, maybe a 70 graph. And then just try to match the lid opening. So it should be starting sooner. There we have it. And it should be a bit longer. That's really good. Now that we have it, we can copy it, the keyframes, and we can paste it to every single one. Pretty nice. Then we can add some glow to these. So if we just add a glow with these settings, and then if we just paste it to everyone, it's looking pretty nice. And I think we're almost done here. Let's go over here. And due to the 4-color gradient, they are a bit dark, so let's fix that. Or actually it's due to the vignette which we put on. So yeah, that's 1000. Wow. Didn't know we made it that strong. But yeah, we can just keyframe this vignette and we can just keyframe it completely off. Maybe even make it negative, whatever. Just do it like that. And that looks good. And here, let's make the hands come down. So let's make a new null. Position orientation. Let's go forward. Let's go down. Let's go like that. Let's go like that. We can make them maybe like this. Make it fast. Make it really fast, like kind of like that. Or something like this. Yeah, that's pretty nice. And basically, the idea I have with this is for us to make an adjustment layer and put on a hue and sat. Now let's keyframe this channel range right here. And as these come out, let's do a couple, or let's do one lap. So it's a bit colorful. Let's do a graph for that as well. Awesome. Sick. And another idea I had was to add an adjustment layer with an exposure effect and basically make the whole screen turn white as the animation ends off. So kind of like that. And then maybe a new solid, which will be white, which will be scaled down. Or how will we do this? Mask. Maybe a mask in the middle, and we can do mask expansion. Maybe something like this. Maybe with a turbulent displays. Maybe this. I kind of like that. Yeah, then it's just. Yeah, I think that's a perfect way to end the animation. That's funny. Awesome. Oh, okay, we messed up something. The animation looks like this at the start. Box. I know it now. I know. We made the lid parent to a new null, so it's not following this anymore, which I think we can. How do we fix this the best way? Let's cut it right there. Let's put this to that null. Easy fix. Yep, perfect. And these hands are supposed to be here. Let's cut them right there. So Alt left bracket. That's sick. No, that's actually pretty cool. That's really nice. Some final touches. I'm gonna make a new null to this. Let's do position and let's have a constant kind of zoom out. So there's always some movement in this animation, which is important in any design. To always have some movement. I think we messed it up. Like that. This is a sick animation. I'm gonna watch it one more time. This is by the way third, so it's a lot better, but I think it's gonna lag quite a bit. Hold on, let me render it quick so we can see the whole animation. There we have it. That's a sick. One more really small detail I want to make is on this dude's right here where he grabs the box. I want to make him smile. So let's go here. Let's do a scale keyframe. Let's go forward like that. Now let's make this minus 100. This is sick. Let's make it a bit sooner. Awesome. Yeah, I think that was pretty much it. Hopefully you found this super valuable. I tried to give away as much info as I could. If you want the project file for this exact project, I'll just leave it in the description. Why not? And yeah, make sure to check out this video for more. If you had any questions, drop them in the comments. I'm going to be replying to every single one of you. And I'll see you in the next one. Peace.